Well, we've gotten a new ban list, skill rebalances, 2 new boxes, a new structure deck, and a new character. Guys, it's been 2 months, but it's finally time for the State of the Meta for July 2018. And we are going. So what's up, YouTube? This is Spectre here once again with my buddy Seth.
Hello.
And he is the next world champion, whether he knows it or not. So Seth, go win worlds for us.
Good luck with that.
Just I don't know, kill everybody in front of you that placed in front of you, and just get on. You know,
Yep.
it shouldn't be that
But
hard.
I just have to kill maybe 141 people.
That's not too bad. I mean, you can do that in like a night.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it has been 2 months. Really quick, I just want to apologize for the 5 or so people that actually watch these right now because I'm still so small. There wasn't one last month. This is long story short. My hard drive failed, I think 3 days before we were going to record, and I didn't get a new computer until the following week. And by then, we were already in the World Championship qualifier season. And I wasn't playing, but I know that Seth was, so I didn't want to bother him for it to be like, hey, let's play away for 2 hours to do this when you're trying to qualify for Worlds. So, and then after that, I was busy catching up with schoolwork, so we just said, fuck it. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
But we have had a lot of stuff, as I said in the intro, we have had a lot of stuff going on. But as a result, we're going to try to go through this in order of new ban list stuff, skull rebalances, the new boxes that came out, the new structure deck, the character, etc., etc. So I guess we should start off with the death of Sylvans. Holy shit! What do you? Are they still playable? I think that they're still playable, just without the martial leaves.
I mean, how are you going to play it?
As a beatdown build.
I mean, I get that, but it's like, is it better than anything else you could be doing?
No, absolutely not. But people who invested in nothing but that deck can still play it, at least as a more beatdown build without playing like Martial Leaf. But the plague is over. Oh, it's finally over. I missed out on the entirety of last season and most of this season because of freaking Martial Leaf. I was so sick of that card. I'm still sitting on plat 2 because I didn't want to play it at all this month. But so yeah, so Sylvans are dead. Or I shouldn't say dead. They have to change.
No, they're pretty dead.
I don't know. I mean, again, I can see them being a beatdown deck. I can see them playing, Rose Lover, and just kind of using that to bring out.
I think you'd be better off running that one plant that lets you summon without tributing.
Which one is that?
Amaryllis.
Amaryllis.
And yeah.
Which box is that in? Do you know?
Land of Titans, I think that's what it's called.
I'm going to take a look at that real quick.
It's the bamboo one.
I'm going to take a look at that, to take a look at that real quick. But let's see, the Land of Titans. How do you know these off the top of your head, by the way?
I don't know. I'm a savant. What can I say?
I guess so. That's why I keep you around. You do all the hard work for me. What is it called?
Amaryllis. It's like AMAR.
I am not funny. Do you know what the rarity is?
It's a regular rare.
I am not. Oh, there it is. During main phase, you can banish from your graveyard. That could be pretty good. I mean, it lets them summon the Guardy Oak for free. You save the tribute for the Hermit.
Or Lotus.
Yeah, I've heard about Lotus. Lotus is. I've actually decked somebody out because of Lotus before.
Mm.
I was playing Paleo and they summoned Lotus, so I filled up my board, and they decked out their entire deck.
Oh boy,
it was fun. I enjoyed that. But anyway,
that had been an awkward moment for them.
I'm sure it was. I went from having 3 cards on the board to having 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
And as a result, I also activated the Hallowed Life Barrier.
Mm.
So my stuff couldn't even be touched. It was pretty great. But anyway, so Sylvans, there really isn't too much to talk about. They might make a beatdown build, but I mean, the Sylvan deck that we all knew and loathed is gone. So now let's talk about a deck that I know you were a big fan of. I'm kind of a fan of it. Amazons.
Hmm.
Has this done anything to Amazons? I mean, you can't play Econ with it anymore. How much does that hurt the deck?
I mean, it lost. Let's see. It lost one. Um,
What, 3 or 4 cards probably, depending on how many
yeah,
Econs you're
four.
playing.
Yeah, I was running three. Yeah, I lost econs and onslaught. That did damage certainly.
Yeah. Well, does losing the onslaught really hurt?
Huh?
Does losing your onslaught really hurt?
Uh, Not as much as the econs and then the restart nerf.
Yeah, the restart nerf I think hit the deck the most, which is actually, I guess we should probably combine the skills into this because Amazon's used restart, and that's what do they even use now?
I was testing before for hires existed. I was testing parasite infestation
Why parasite?
because it turns things insects rather than spellcasters.
Oh, for the magician.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So it was more of like a anti meta thing rather than
Hmm.
actually being to help the deck itself.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
And it also does let you run Jade Insect Whistle to, kill a draw, but
Yeah,
ma- mainly it was to basically build your own zombie world.
yeah. Which um, can you play other skills like balance in there? I mean, do you play enough spells in Amazons? I don't think I did.
Mm, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure that now my Amazon build only has, I think, 2 or 3 spells in it.
Like, you can build it in such a way where you can, I'm pretty sure, but like you used restart to dig into Princess, and balance kind of doesn't do that for you.
Yeah, and that was such a major thing about the deck. I can't even find my Amazon deck list. I may have accidentally deleted it for the tower, which is that event sucked as far as rewards go, but that's not even a big deal. But yeah, speaking of decks that the skill fucked the deck over, Cyber Angels. That deck got smashed in the face with the nerf to balance. Um, I'm still
It,
playing
it,
it.
it got hit by a lot of things. I mean, it even had a random amount limit to uh, Petite Angel.
Yeah, but that wasn't as huge of a deal. Petit Angel wasn't the biggest loss to it. Like, I just took it out for Gishki Chain, and it still kind of worked. The only issue I had with it was just I have to play my Dakinis a bit. It's a bit hard to get out Dakini, so I had to take out the Absolute Ritual.
Hmm.
But I mean, it doesn't hurt the deck as bad as you would think. I mean, I thought that was the nail in the coffin. But I was like, I'm gonna play it a little bit, and I took out the Absolute Ritual, which actually gave me room for Treacherous Trap Hole. And I mean, the deck still works. It's one of those decks where it either wins or it bricks, and that's pretty much there's no middle ground to it, which is how it's always been. Except now it can brick a lot easier. But yeah, losing balance, losing restart. I still haven't found a good skill for that. I was playing it with Master of Rights too. It doesn't really make any difference to do with that though.
Hmm.
So I don't even know what to use for that. One
I
deck.
don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know either. It's not like a deck I've really played because I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going through it quickly because I know that you haven't had the ability to play it. Saphir is a little bit on the expensive side. Yeah,
Uh,
3.
so is Sinju and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Sinju's a freaking first box ultra rare. I would not go back for that second box. Second, I think second. Um,
Second main.
yeah. But one deck that I was not expecting to get hit was Girga, with the pulse mines hit. Now I don't know if it was directly for Girga, but that's the one that everyone's been referencing.
Oh, it is for Yugioh, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. That was the only main machine deck.
Yeah, like I was almost wondering if it was maybe preemptive for something else, but I mean Jinza wouldn't be playing wouldn't be playing pulse mines, so
I mean, you just would be wrong.
yeah. I mean, unless you're playing, the Jinzo amplifier build, because that's so good.
Like I said, in case you're wrong,
Yeah, play Jinzo with amplifier, and then play Horus, and just be a pro like that. I mean, that's the best way to do it. I mean, come on, what are we doing over here? We're just playing good decks.
The old Horus Jinzo lock.
Yeah, I actually saw somebody do that on Facebook already. I saw somebody post up a picture. It was turn 4. They had gone first, so I guess that they had turns 1 and 3. But on the opponent's second turn, they already had a Jinzo and Horus level 8 on board.
I mean, it's the meme deck that never dies.
Yeah. So it's the kind of deck where in the TCG really got better when Jinzo stopped being played and they started playing Royal Decree just because it was more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the kind of deck that's it's a meme, like you said. Masked Heroes kind of got the biggest slap in the wrist I've ever seen, though. I mean, Celestial 2 does nothing to that deck. The only thing I can think of was that they put Celestial to 2 to discourage Econ.
Yeah.
But
and also Celestial is also a pretty good card.
Yeah, but having it go down to 2 doesn't do anything to it. I've been playing at 2 since the ban list came out, but like before it was even implemented, you don't notice any difference with it.
I mean, with the loss of Econ, it definitely forces the deck to go more aggro than it probably normally would be.
Oh yeah, if I'm not winning on turn, probably my second or third turn, I'm probably losing, which I'm actually really close to getting D-Draw, so I can really test the deck at full power really soon. But it's pretty much, if I open Mass Change, I probably win. If I don't open Mass Change, I probably lose, and that's what the deck really hinges on, which is not a good thing. That hinges on one card. I've seen a lot of people saying that the deck could remain top tier, but I'm not sure if it's consistent enough to remain top tier.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I mean that's another one which you haven't really played. So,
yeah.
Did you have any comments on Gearka? Because we kind of skipped right past it. We just talked about Pulse Mines a little bit.
I think it's either going to be a sleeper hit or not at all.
Yeah, I mean, Gearga's an awkward deck to play. That's really the best way I can put it. It's a very awkward deck. I don't even know what kind of skill that they would use anymore, because I was using Restart. But losing Pulse Mines,
I'd say they'd use Balance.
Maybe, but then I mean, for me personally, I had to do a lot of changing to my deck because I was only playing 3 spells. I was only playing 3 ties.
I mean, there's other spells that can run though. Like
yeah, and again, I just had to make changes to mine.
Yeah, fair.
But Gearga's, I felt like Gearga was kind of a overrated deck. I don't think it's ever really been a tier 1 deck. It's been a good deck. It's been a high tier rogue deck, but not like a tier 1.
It's a good tournament deck.
Yeah, because it can side just about everything, and there's not a lot of people siding for Gearga.
Yeah, it's probably what it is a bad, single game deck.
Yeah. But one deck that I know that's probably going to be quick, but your favorite deck got a boost, Red Eyes. They finally got their spirit back to 3. So now Red Eyes is tier 1 again, right?
Sure.
The conviction in your voice right now.
They just have so many hills to climb to be able to be relevant again. I want to put it past it as like it's impossible, but like it has to go through for hires first.
Oh yeah,
and then spell books and
yeah. The biggest thing that I think that Red Eyes got that not a lot of people have really said anything about is Card Trooper, because it helps facilitate the filling up the graveyard for Bacon Saver, for Gozukis, or with the Gozuki play rather, where you mill it and then banish something and summon something out of your hand.
Have you used that in Red Eyes?
I haven't, because I was waiting for the ban list change to happen. So I'm gonna try it out probably this week before this video goes up. But I haven't actually played it yet. But I think that Card Trooper could be a very good one of, obviously because there's not one of it in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, because we both played in the TCG when zombies were around, and zombies loved Card Trooper.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but you mentioned them already. But the spell books got
Hmm.
nothing from this list. In fact, they got better because everything else got hit, and then they got a structure deck that helped them out.
Unfortunately, it's no longer a free play deck.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the regular spellbook deck is still free to play. The 30 card grass deck is still free to play,
Yeah,
but
but I think that
the magician isn't.
the Silent Magician build is probably better.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a better build, but unfortunately, it's just like I said, it's not free to play anymore. I'm kind of debating on buying it, but I want to see if this card might get released in a later box.
Yeah,
Because
I doubt it, but you never know.
well, because I mean they released the selection box stuff in later boxes. So I wonder if they're going to release the Silent Magician and the Gold Sark in either main or a mini box.
I still won't count it since they haven't like released old structured deck exclusives and anything else.
Yeah, but at the same time though, those structure decks were also able to be bought with gems. So the only reason I'm thinking that different is because this isn't viable with gems. So I'm not sure.
I think you're more optimistic than you should be.
Yeah, I had that problem, but I don't know. I mean, it might happen in the future. I do like that they actually just got a skill that kind of helps out the deck for Yugimoto. The
Yeah.
one where I think if you take like 1800 damage, you draw a Silent Magician.
No, you don't draw it, you summon it.
Oh, you just summon it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even better. Holy shit! All
Well,
right.
it's level 4.
Oh, never mind. So it's not the new one. It's just the plain old level
No.
4.
Yeah.
Does it summon from outside the deck or?
I think from the deck.
Oh, okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. Um,
Like, if I recall correctly, if I'm thinking of racing, it kind of works like reinforcements a bit.
okay, where you just pull it out of the deck and bring it right to the field. I'm assuming that it wouldn't use up your normal summon though.
I don't think so, no.
All right. Have you tried aliens yet this meta?
Not this meta, no.
No. The only reason I wanted to bring it up is I've been talking to Nelson, who was gonna try to be on this I think, but I haven't heard from him like all day. Actually,
Hmm.
like, I heard from him a little while ago, but I haven't heard from him in the last couple hours. Um, but he was saying that he's been playing aliens and his build's actually pretty decent. From where at least his results have been pretty decent. He said that with the change to the meta where Sylvans are basically gone, that gives aliens a lot more room to play because aliens were having a terrible Sylvan matchup.
What's
So,
there for her? What's there for higher matchup like?
from what he said, very defensive.
Okay.
Basically relying on the A cells.
All right.
But I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be super defensive or what. Because his build is kind of weird though, because he only plays I think 6 monsters. Actually,
Okay.
he may have actually upped that because I know he threw an alien kid specifically for hire.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure how that works for him, but from my understanding from what he was telling me, it's a very defensive game.
Like I could see it kind of working, especially with Alien Kid and Brainwashing Bean.
Yeah, the biggest issue I think that the deck is going to have is dealing with Wiz.
Yeah.
We'll talk about for hires in a bit. But as
I
far as
only
that matchup
I
goes,
only played the Alien versus for hire matchup once, so I don't really know.
well, how'd that matchup go? Did you win really quickly or?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you didn't get a chance to actually see how the deck would fare.
No.
All right. Okay. So now we get into the territory I don't really know much about because again I missed the majority of last season and this season.
Hmm.
I know that Silent Swordsman OTK was a major deal.
Hmm.
How is that doing now? Because I know that there were 2 hits that were supposed to hit the deck, but when we talked about it, I think it was you that talked about it. Said that the deck uses the bamboo engine anyway, so the hits didn't really matter.
I said it could.
Oh,
I think like its hardest hits came from the skill rebalancing.
Did they?
Yeah,
Um,
because the deck used either Grit or Dual Standby.
okay, which grit I'm actually really glad got nerfed. I shouldn't say nerfed. It got standardized, and I've been saying. I think I said the last time that we did this, I hated grit because it could be any time, no matter what. This it could have said. It could have said as long as you're over one life point at the start of the turn, I would still have been happy with it because you can play around it now. But the fact that
Uh,
they made a solid 4K,
mm,
it's kind of a big deal, I think.
yeah. Another thing that had been interesting is if it like Grit worked, like it showed that you were using Grit at the start, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, like you, the Grit user got to choose when to pop it. So like on their turn, like they decide, okay, you get one shot to pop it. You know, if you want to say pop on your turn until the end of theirs.
Oh,
You see
okay.
what I'm getting at?
Okay,
But
so that's how it works now, or is that?
no, I'm saying that would have been cool if that's
Oh
how
yeah,
it worked.
yeah, yeah.
And the
That
opponent,
would be
of
cool.
course, wouldn't know whether or not you popped it or not. It's kind of like
Mm,
a game of chicken, kind of.
I'm not a big fan of that only because like I said before, I mean I guess in a way that helps the grit user, but my issue was just that it was always kind of thing when neither player knew when it was active, so you couldn't play around it or play
All
into
right,
it. But I guess if you can pop it yourself and your opponent doesn't know it, then at least you can play into it and kind of, as the opponent, be able to kind of telegraph it and be like,
all
okay,
right.
he's probably using grit because he just summoned one monster in past. He's probably
Well,
using
well,
grit.
well, like then it'd just be a matter of you basically get a free Wabaku.
Yeah, yeah. So it would be essentially it would be, as you said, a game of chicken, and that I think would have been fine too. I mean that would have promoted skillful play, skillful knowing
Yeah,
of how people play. Um, but I
it's
mean,
like some nice mind games in there.
yeah. But is the deck still being played at all, or is it basically gone now because of the still balancing?
I haven't seen it.
No. All right. Do you think it can work with the change to the skills? Because I imagine
Mm,
maybe with reinforcements it might work, right?
nah.
No. Hmm.
Getting the swordsman wasn't the problem because all you had to do is Dark World Dealings pitch the slash and banish it to get the Silent
Okay.
Swordsman.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a matter of what just surviving and using it.
Oh yeah.
All right. And then the next one that I know had a lot of hype, but again, I never knew anything about it. Noble Knights. How are they?
Uh, Not bad right now. Um, they aren't as I mean for playing for hire, it hasn't been like the easiest matchup to beat them.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know anything about them, so please educate.
Mm.
Teach me.
Having uh knights backed up with Arms of Destiny is kind of a big deal.
What is arms of what is it?
It lets you
Decius?
it lets the equipped monster survive a damage or not survive damage, it's survive destruction once
Oh, okay.
per turn.
Okay. And does it pop itself when that happens, or?
No,
Oh, okay. So it's just a blanket.
it
preventing
kind
from
of turns a
destroying.
monster into a gyroid in a way.
Yeah, which you wouldn't think would be a big deal, coming from the TCG, but I guess in this it's kind of a big that's kind of a bigger deal.
Well, he only has so many destruction effects,
Yeah.
and also shit, what's it called? The 1800 guy,
Um,
Driston.
Tristan. The super rare. While you
Yeah,
control another noble knight monster, your opponent cannot target. Once
yeah,
you,
that one.
yeah, with 1800 attack or less, or
Yeah,
less than.
all those effects also make things difficult. Like the fact that you can't target other things really makes treacherous trap hole plays difficult.
Oh, is that for everything, or is that just monster attacks?
Hmm? It's monster attacks and targets.
Or with card effect? Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like treacherous becomes a janky card. Does widespread ruin target? That targets, right?
Huh?
Does widespread ruin target?
No.
It doesn't.
No.
Okay. I mean, granted, it wouldn't matter for that matchup anyway, but still,
It's kind of like a smashing ground in a way.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's cool though. Is there anything else out of that pack, the Crusader Battlegrounds pack that is of note?
Uh, I can't remember what else came out of it.
The Great Maju Garzette,
Yeah,
the
no,
Dark
never
Creator,
mind. Nah,
the Silent Swordsman level 7, Thestalos again, finally came back. Grandmaster, which I saw Grandmaster and wanted to quit the game. I still have really, really bad memories of Six Samurai.
well, so far they're not relevant.
Good.
So
Fuck Six Samurai. I hate that deck. I hate that deck more than anything.
they still probably need like Kaizen and synchros and whatnot.
As soon as I get that, I might quit the game because to me they are worse than Sylvans were. Although I guess with only 3 zones, it might not be that bad.
No,
But because I mean they can't make Naturia Beast and Shien all in the same turn with only 3 zones. At least
no,
not as easily. Yeah, DD Assailant, I imagine that could be a decent anti-meta card, but not really making a impact. Has Nobleman of Crosshead done anything? I haven't seen that really used at all, which I imagine that might have been used for the Sylvan matchups.
it was only tech for Sylvans.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, Although I mean it has some use from with the worm deck, which I know you were testing a little bit. So I guess we can go a little bit out of order here. How were worms?
Not good.
Not good at all.
Nope.
I played I played somebody during the event today, and
Hmm.
I mean, granted, it said gold rank 2. It's like okay, this should be kind of fun. And then, um, it was a 30 card deck with peak performance. I was like, okay, it's probably like some kind of grass deck because I'm still used to playing good players, right? So I'm like, okay, it's probably some kind of
Uh-huh.
grass deck, dragon based. I think there's a dragon that summons and stuff out of the graveyard now or something like that. It's like okay, this should be fun. They set a monster past turn. I draw I summon Celestial, I set Cyclone, I attack in. It's a warm apocalypse. I was like, what the hell is this? It was a warm apocalypse. I was like, okay. So I just played Mass Change, summoned Anki, attacked directly, Mass Change again for game. I was like, what the hell is that? 30 card
Yeah,
worms with peak performance. That is that is some next level shit.
definitely.
Uh, um, so then the main deck of this box, which is actually the one I'm still trying to build. I currently have 2 beats now though, which is awesome.
Hmm.
Um, is Fur Hire. You built them the day of release, I think. So
Yes.
please
Like I built
enlighten
them
everyone.
maybe I built them maybe like 3 hours after the box was released.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
You know, if I was like a multimillionaire for whatever reason, I would have a prismatic set of beats by now.
Oh dear.
I would keep resetting the box until I got three prismatic beats, and the rest of the deck would all be glossy because rares can't be prismatic. But I would just keep grinding out those because I love Fur Hire. Fur Hire is my favorite archetype. I play it in
So
TCG.
do you want to know why you're not a multimillionaire?
I know why I'm not a multimillionaire. I spend money on stupid things. But even still, um, I do love that Fur Hires are in the game. Um, but since you've been playing them, what do you think are their biggest strengths? Because I've been saying for a little while when I was talking to Nelson, I feel like Wiz is a 1 card win con against most decks.
Uh, yes and no. Like if you're depending on Wiz, you really have to protect the castle.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Wiz alone has a 2800 ass end, so it's like you just play in defense mode. Nothing really can get over it without using back row.
You think that, but eventually you will play against good players that will be able to either force you to activate that effect and then go for the thing they really want resolving.
Yeah, they'll bait it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, aside from having to have a bunch of resources to bait it out, what gets over Wiz if it's in defense mode? I mean, aside from like a Blue Eyes matchup, which nobody's playing Blue Eyes in high tier matches. I mean, what can be summoned out that can just deal with it since it can negate spells and traps?
Mm. Well, in terms of like say the Noble Knight matchup, Dristan's a big deal.
Why? What does Tristan do?
Every time it's equipped, it pops a face up.
Now if you negate that, I'm assuming that the effect wouldn't go through then.
I mean, I want to go through, but still, it's a
Yeah,
matter of they can bait things out, and
yeah.
even when you're
So that
negating stuff,
becomes
you still have to invest cards into negating it.
yeah. So just based on that, it sounds like Normal Knights could be their worst matchup right now.
No,
No, what's
not the worst matchup that I've had using for hires was actually Sea Stealth.
that makes sense. Actually, that makes
Yeah.
complete sense. I mean, I know that they can't banish right away to protect their sea stealth, but I mean, they're probably gonna activate it. Worst case scenario, they're gonna activate it in your standby phase. So unless you open with Wiz and you go first, you're probably not gonna be able to deal with their sea stealth.
Well, even then, another thing that's hard to deal with is Whale.
Yeah, Whale's a pain in the ass.
Like, there's been multiple times where I either had to, bait out its negation effect
Yeah.
or wait for it treacherous.
Well, then would you say that for hires are going to be are the new like the new definitive tier one deck like a lot of people have been saying, or
Um, I'd say I'll ignore the tier question for a moment and just say they're definitely going to define a meta.
okay?
Like it's going to warp the meta around them.
So
If you catch what I mean.
yeah. So would you say that they're still the strongest deck, or are they just meta defining?
For right now, all I can say is they're meta defining. I don't know how strong they're because they've only been out a weekend. I've been playing mostly bad players, so
Oh, yeah,
it's just
yeah, yeah. Because I know that like now when you say defining the meta, I'm assuming you mean like for example when Gores came out in the TCG, everybody started to play around Gores no matter what.
yeah.
You know that kind of. I mean, granted, you aren't going to be playing around for hire in the game, but you're going to build decks to play around for hire in the deck building, like how people would play
It's
around
like this.
cores.
You know, your any deck is probably going to have to be able to beat for hires.
Yeah, kind of like how last meta. At least for me personally, I was main decking 3 channels and everything,
Mm-hmm.
specifically for Sylvans, just
All right.
just to deal with mushroom,
Mm-hmm.
Kush mushroom or whatever it's called. Yeah, so that I mean that to me seemed very meta defining because all of a sudden Chalice became not only a good card but a card that was being played in almost everything
Oh yeah, like
because of Sylvans.
Sylvan's definitely worked the meta around it.
Yeah, and for hires seems to be doing the same thing, which seems to be just a trend of these mini boxes.
Yeah.
You know, bring out a new deck, warp the entire meta, change everything in one shot. But the other deck that the only reason I want to bring this up, and like I told you before we started recording, is because DK already posted a video about it. Mecha Phantom Beast. Have you watched the video?
Uh, I maybe like watched the first couple games of it.
Did you or have you played Mecha Phantom Beast at all?
No,
I
I skipped getting
You skipped what?
Falcon. I skipped getting the third Black Falcon.
All right. My issue with Mecha Phantom Beast, and granted, I haven't played the deck yet, so full disclosure, I've not played the deck yet. But in theory, I feel like a lot of the cards are almost unusable in a 3 monster zone game. Like for example, let me find the card here. There's a card that DK was hyping up that granted, I had to reread the effect, but I think that based on the effect that I was getting from it is impossible to play in the game. Um,
Do you remember what
yeah,
it did
yeah,
instead of the name?
the Mega Raptor. It says when a token is special summoned to your side of the field to summon another beast token, which that part I can't figure out how you would summon another token with only having one Mega Raptor on board. So as far as I know, that effect is impossible. I think that the second effect is still really good though. Yeah, you contribute one token to add a Mecha Phantom Beast from your deck to your hand. So the second
Mhm.
effect is really good, but the fact is that the deck is
I think
really,
that's mainly the effect that
yeah,
he's probably thinking is the fact that it tutors
yeah.
stuff.
It's a Stratos for the entire deck, and that's a
Yeah.
really good. Don't get me wrong, that's a really good effect.
Hmm.
My issue isn't with the card itself, but the archetype itself is so dependent on having a big field. Not so much to have a big field to build on, but a big field to build your foundation on.
Hmm.
And having a 3 monster zone field makes you feel like Mecha Phantom Beasts never really have the potential to become a top tier deck like they were in the TCGs. I think that they were top tier in the TCG, weren't they? When oh god, what's their excuse? Draco Sack came out.
Mecha Fan Beasts weren't, but Draco Sack was.
Oh, oh yeah, Draco Sack was in the Dragon Rulers deck, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was so good. Um, but yeah, I mean,
The
just
actual archetype wasn't just that one card was.
yeah. All right, yeah, that makes sense. But the point is, I just feel like Mecha Phantom Beasts are too awkward to play in this kind of environment where it's only 3 zones. Does that make sense, or is that kind of
Yeah, because like since you need tokens to be able to really use them, you're basically going to have at least one slot devoted to summoning tokens.
yeah,
So you essentially have like a two monster card
yeah,
monster zone.
yeah? So it clogs up your board really quickly, and that's my big fear with the deck. I feel like it has good pieces. I mean, like I said, or like one of us said, it has a reusable Stratos.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I mean, it has a Stratos. Black Falcon has a good effect to, switch things, battle positions.
Yeah,
It has a Solemn Judgment. It has
it has a OTK and a can card with that freaking oh god, what's that card called? The trap card.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah, that's it. Tell me that that card isn't designed for OTKs.
Well, I mean, it definitely is.
It's just I can't even find it now. There it is. Yeah, you double your attack and it gets piercing,
Hmm.
and then if you don't OTK, it blows up your board. That's an OTK and a can card right there.
Well, it's not so much an OTK as this is a finish the game right now card.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so it has a lot of good pieces. I just feel like the deck is gonna be too awkward to play,
Hmm.
and it's one of those decks where I haven't reset the box yet because the only thing I need right now is a widespread ruin. Actually, I need both ultras, but the only one I care about is widespread ruin, and
Hmm.
I want to pull the wind up juggler because I want to toy around with wind ups, but I want to
Hmm.
I want to pull the black falcon before I reset the box and go for my third beat.
All right.
But I want to build the deck and try, but I don't think it's ever going to be a top tier contender. I think it's going to be like a tier 2, tier 3 kind of thing, like a
I'd definitely be testing the decks if I uh, went for the Falcon, or
yeah.
when I would say went for the Falcon, I mean got it at an opportune time.
Yeah, I mean, you're a lot, and please don't do this wrong way. But you're a lot stingier with your gems than I am,
Hmm.
which is why when a new deck like Fur House comes out, you buy it 3 hours in. You know,
Yeah,
because you've got a lot more gems than I do.
yeah.
I'm over here struggling to
Well,
freaking get gems.
like I didn't buy anything from the last main box, so
Yeah, you know, I didn't buy anything from the last main. I bought some packs from the last main box because I wanted to try to build a Silent Swordsman to qualify for a World Championship qualifier, and then I realized about 10 minutes after that I shouldn't have done that.
hmm.
But I wasn't buying anything for a while, and then decided to go back and buy the Spellbook deck when you told me that that's a grass deck.
Uh-huh.
And I still haven't bought that. I still haven't finished buying that yet. I have like 2 Blue Boy and one Secrets, the super rare.
Hmm.
I have like 2 and 1 of either Blue Boy and Secrets. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and get that eventually. Yeah, I've been trying to do the same thing, trying to hoard up my gems a little bit, but that's I have to get better disciplined in that. I have very bad
Yeah.
shiny ball syndrome.
Mm.
I mean, talked about this before. At one point, I had all the top tier decks that were out at the time, and then Crystal Beast come out, and I'm playing a free to play Crystal Beast deck because it's brand new and shiny.
See, you're the type of person where, like, when you're in a supermarket and there's that, when you're at the checkout counter, there's just a row of candy.
Yes,
You're the target audience for that one.
yes, I am, and I have bought candy when checking out. I was just buying a Gatorade, and I see a thing of candy. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy Hershey bar, and a Kit Kat, and M&Ms, and a Twix. I spent like $5 on candy. Because I am very impulsive when it comes to buying stuff. I have really bad shiny ball.
Well, to be fair, Konami's good at building that um what's the phrase I'm looking for?
That like
Desire
desire.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, and one thing too is that I'm still kind of getting out of the paying for stuff and being free to play.
Mm.
I mean, again, I do want to buy the Silent Magician deck. I haven't bought it yet, but
Mm.
I'm trying to convert to free to play as much as I can. But I'm so used to just being like, I'm just gonna buy 30 packs because I have the extra money right now.
All right.
And thus I could build all these decks. So I have to kind of get out of that mindset and being like, I really have to focus on what I want to get.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when you're not looking at, your purchases in money in a budgetary sense, you're not gonna
Yeah,
spend your gems that way either.
yeah. So anyway,
Like, you'd probably be a lot better if you said, okay, I'm only going to spend $20 or $30 a month at most, and then,
yeah,
you
which
know,
I've been trying not to spend anything since the last what's it called? Not the WCQ, but the thing before that.
Casey Cup.
Yeah. Ever since the last KC Cup, I've been spending anything because I got really frustrated with just how much I I had lost games to due to disconnection, which kind of got me for not disqualified, but it didn't let me
Disgruntled.
qualify. Yeah, well, I was disgruntled, but it didn't let me. I didn't qualify for the World Championship qualifiers because
Mm-hmm.
of those DCs, and that frustrated me. Yeah, it really frustrated
Mm-hmm.
me. So, which it worked out fine anyway, because the weekend of the World Championship qualifier was my sister's baby shower, so I was busy all
Mm-hmm.
weekend anyway. So I wouldn't have been able to play anyway. But still, just the fact I couldn't play because of those DCs, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to keep supporting this if I'm going to get screwed over by DCs.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think that we hit most of the decks. Are there any decks that you want to talk about before we talk about Roba?
Mm.
Anything I forgot?
I'm still waiting for a time to start testing psychics.
I've actually I heard from Nelson that I mean, I can't remember what his name is, but
I just got No Mortal Can't Resist. No Mortal Can Resist to drop, so I'll be working on
oh
that one.
oh nice. No, I was talking to Nelson. His friend, I forget what he wanted to go by in these videos, but his friend that was with us for the video was the four of us.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing Psychics and he got the King of Games with it last season. He hasn't played like any PvP this season from what I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Last season he got the King of Games with Psychics and he was saying that they're really really good. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess that they're good. I haven't played them yet. I know that Roba I think has some Psychic support, but I'm not sure how much.
Well, I mean, what I meant was after the release of the Psychic Wizard thing and the new box
Yeah, the Psychic
and the
Wizard.
Juggler.
Yeah, the Psychic Wizard. The I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name. The Silent Psychic Wizard.
Uh,
The thing that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see that being pretty good. I see that really helping out the deck.
and Wind Up Juggler is a Psychic too.
Yeah, and I finally got Firm as Earth, which is the reason I never played Psychics was because I didn't have Firm as Earth. I
Mm-hmm.
finally got the drop during the last event. I was playing Bastion to farm. I finally got
Mm-hmm.
the drop. I was so happy when I finally got it. Because I had Bastion like level 20 something, I think, or close to 20 something, and I finally got the damn thing. I Bastion at 19. I finally got Firm as Earth. Anyway, So then we had the DD Tower last I guess it ended yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So the new tier 1 deck is going to be Yugioh Necros, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
new tier 1 deck. There's nothing better than that. The
Nope.
the deck is amazing. It's the most consistent thing ever. You need to have these 5 mostly unsearchable cards in the graveyard. You need to have this unsearchable almost ritual card, but it's not even a ritual spell. So you can't even search out with Sonic Bird.
It's actually very searchable. Gold Sarcarpus, thank you.
Oh yeah, that's right. But you have to pay for that though, so it's not free to play.
Different dimension capsule. Then
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. That's fair.
we nailed it. We solved it.
There you go. But yeah, so if you're using
We
Necro,
just turned a tier 1 deck to tier 0.
good job. I might have to edit that out because I don't want the meta to be flooded with that now. Thanks a lot, Seth.
Oh well.
But no, Yugioh Necros is such a wasted ultra rare. It's so bad. I know why it's an ultra rare. It's an iconic card, but it's such a bad card.
Mm-hmm.
Patrician of Darkness was pretty terrible. I forget what the other new cards were.
Skullmeister.
Skullmeister is a really
It's a
good
side deck card.
It would have been good last season before Sylvan got nerfed. I would have actually main decked it, I think.
It's crazy, man. They keep releasing so many great side deck cards, and yet there's no side decks.
Yeah, I know. It makes me think that we might be getting side deck format eventually.
Hopefully, man. I mean, we got what, like 2 great side deck cards in this event right now?
2. I know Jinzo, but what's the other one?
Oh, then 3, I guess.
Okay. Where are they?
There's that one turn Gozen match.
Oh yeah, the Battle of Elements. That's really good. You're right. I'll give you that. That's really really good.
And
Heartless Drop Off is okay, but I'm not sure if that's
yeah,
what you're talking about.
no, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Even as a side deck card, I can't
mean,
really see it being super useful.
if you were to like, I mean, it's not useful right now, but it's kind of like a future proofing type thing. Like,
Yeah,
say if we had like a deck that's built on like a bunch of decider effects.
yeah but there's an archetype that does that. I can't remember what it is though. Um,
I mean, there's probably plenty of archetypes that does stuff like that. What I'm saying is though, it's like the big thing about it is that one, it just doesn't like banish that one card; it also banishes all the other cards
yeah,
that has that name. So
yeah, but
it's a big deal.
there was an archetype. I can't remember what it is that would return cards on their field to their hand to do things. I remember it being like a dragon archetype. I can't remember what it is though.
True Drake, not True Dracos. I
No,
never even played during that time.
no, and True Dracos are worms, I think, but they're a whole different thing. True Draco is the only TCG deck I've ever seen where everything is level 6, like level 6 or higher, and they don't play any level 4 monsters.
Yeah,
But
I wasn't playing during
yeah,
that time.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. And even right now, while you've been playing Fur Hires in the game, you probably shouldn't jump back to the TCG, because Fur Hires are in the TCG, but they're so outshined by other things.
I wasn't planning on jumping
Yeah,
back to the TCG anyway.
I wouldn't recommend it. Where you were getting frustrated before, the TCG has gotten even more explosive. But I can't remember what this archetype was.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'll think of it later and probably message you about it or something later. But yeah, there used to be something that would return stuff to the hand to do things
I
like
mean,
monsters on the board. Which
until
that
we
could,
get
hmm?
until we get like a DD Crow, that's kind of like a good DD Crow effect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be better if it also worked when monsters were coming from the river to the field. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
Grave to hand though does damage.
Yeah. I guess it works against Cyber Angels. Excuse me. It does work against Cyber Angels though. To deal with Dakini returning stuff to hand or Saphira returning stuff to hand.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. It doesn't do anything to Amazons, right? No, they don't put anything back in the hand.
No.
Heroes don't.
Well, aside from Spy, is it what's it called? Amazon Spy.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
That's the only one that does that.
Yeah, which that's not very good. I mean, that's a card when the deck
No.
first came out that I thought might be decent. And I asked you about it, and you made a good point why it wasn't. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't really much good right now. But I think that Skullmeister and oh my god, what's the other card? We just discussed it.
Uh,
That's how shit my memory
the
is.
Battle of Elements.
Yeah, those are really really good side deck cards. In fact, Battle of Elements might even be worth main decking if
I
a
wouldn't be
well
surprised.
not right now, but like if a deck comes out that has very
I wouldn't be
attribute heavy.
surprised if it was right now, actually.
Well, what decks would you use it against?
For hire?
Isn't for hire all Earth monsters?
No,
Oh, they aren't. I thought they were.
no.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, then maybe it is worth
Only
main decking.
beat and that 125 is Earth.
Are there other for hire monsters?
Yeah, let's see. Beat and Dyna are the Earth ones. Seal
Yeah,
is dark.
yeah. Wiz is
Wiz
water.
is water, and
Domp is wind, and so is Recon.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, so that could do some work against them. I mean, granted they aren't really meta, but it looks like windups also get kind of screwed over by it too.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It could be a decent card. Jinzo. I want to talk about this in two ways. One is a deck, and one is a just a tech card.
Hmm.
How do you think it would do as a tech card in decks that can already kind of play it, like things that either flood the board or already do some tributing? I
Um,
don't even mean top tier decks. I mean like even lower tier decks.
I'd say Amazon's would still have to be relevant for it to work. Maybe if for some reason Chainburn or Stall were still relevant.
I think that Chainburn can
Well,
stay
Chainburn was
relevant.
never relevant, but Stall was.
Hey man, listen, all right. I got the King Games of Chainburn.
I mean, it'd be cool if Chainburn
I mean,
was relevant.
granted, it's a Chainburn which you basically built for me, but still, I got the King Games with that.
Yeah, you were using that deck vicariously for me.
Yeah, which and I still play it. I'm actually worried about playing it in this event though, for two reasons.
Hmm.
Number one, it's a slow deck, and you really want to get fast victories.
Yeah.
And number two, because it's new and shiny. I expect to see a lot of Jinzo for probably this entire month.
Well,
Um,
I mean, you only have to fade one Jinzo.
unless they're playing Robo with his level 20 skill. His level 20 skill gives you one or two more Jinzos.
Okay.
So, which I guess we can already go into that second topic of the deck itself. I think that you get 3 returners from Robo. Am I right?
Yes.
And I think you get 3 Lords, although Lord isn't really worth playing. Maybe it's a one of in a Jinzo specific deck.
If that. If that.
Yeah. Does Returner stop the Jinzo from being able to attack?
No.
So I can see Jinzo then being a very OTK heavy deck with Econ.
Okay.
You tribute your
It
returner.
doesn't miss timing.
Oh, is there a timing to it? I don't have Robo. I can't
I don't know.
I can't
That's
even
what I'm
look at it.
asking you.
I'll look that up real quick because I don't have Robo. I can't look at it yet. Jinzo Returner. Because if it doesn't miss timing, I could see this being a very big OTK deck. This card attacks one directly. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can. It probably does because it's going for a cost.
Does it say when?
It
Does it
says
say?
when you can.
Okay, then yeah, it misses timing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Never mind.
But you still have Scrap Recycler to, bin it.
I forget what Scrap Recycler does.
When summoned, you can send the machine from your deck to the grave.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I do see the deck becoming potentially a OTK heavy deck because of you wanting to OTK if you're using returner.
Mm.
I think that they also get the Jinzo Ejector, don't they? Or Robo gets the Jinzo Ejector at level 45, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does that do? I've never heard of this card until the Guns Blazing video I watched. This card's name becomes Jinzo while it's on the field. Choose this card, add one Jinzo from your deck to your hand. Then reveal all set spell and trap cards to your opponent. Wait, hold on. Reveal all set All side cards in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. Trap cards. That's pretty good. That allows you to flood the board with Jinzos, potentially. Although I'm not sure. That's kind of a meta dependent kind of card to play.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that would require the meta to slow down to where people are playing trap cards again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I could see that being cheeky at least. But I kind of foresee either a Jinzo control deck or an aggressive Jinzo deck. And the control deck would be playing like Soul Exchanges to get out the Jinzo, whereas the aggressive deck would be playing Returner to get the Jinzo.
Well, I think if you're already into the slow exchange route, you're just going to go to Frognarks.
Yeah,
and
probably.
use some Jinzo that way.
Which, I mean, we don't have a lot of good monarchs, but at least we have Thestalos. So I mean, you can play,
And Grand Marge.
Grand March is okay. I guess in this format, it's pretty good.
I mean, it's good when you don't have like Zaborg or Caius or Ryza.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe 3 Thestalos, 2 Grand Marge, the Jinzo, 3 Frog.
Or there's that one Fiend Monarch.
Agnarl or the other one. I forgot what the one is.
That one.
Agnarl, is that the one that you can search out a quick play spell?
It's where you banish a spell and then get one of the same name from your deck.
Is it regular or is it quick play? I thought it had to be quick play.
Any.
Oh, okay. That could be pretty decent. That could be pretty decent. But the issue with that card is just where the deck size is so small, it's hard to fit multiples of the same spell in the deck as well as.
You mean it's hard to fit in multiple slow exchanges and econs?
Shut up. Stop being right. No one asked you. No, yeah, you're right. That's fair. Oh God, this is why I have you on to be the good player.
Someone has to be.
Yeah, I know, because it sure isn't me apparently. Yeah, so I do think that Jinzo could be a fun deck. Definitely not like a top tier contender, but definitely a deck that you can play in like I'm gonna be in gold next season because I'm not playing at all in platinum. So I'm gonna be in gold next season. I have no problem doing that. So I can build Jinzo in gold and freaking that could be fun.
I couldn't do it, man. I have to. If nothing else, besides glory, it's also having to deal with playing with bad players, and I just don't want to have to deal with that.
But it's fun to play with bad players.
No, it isn't.
Then
it's depressing.
Then you must hate this event.
I kind of do actually. For that,
the highest player I've played against was a gold tier player.
I have played against plenty of multiple Kingdom Games players, but when you see the gold, like the gold ranking, it's just, oh boy, I'm sorry, buddy.
My last 5, which I think I have more than 5 games. My last 5 are gold rank 1, gold rank 1, gold rank 2, gold rank 1, gold rank 1, and silver rank 2. I had 6. I'm sorry.
You want to know what's brutal?
What?
I played against a rookie rank once.
Oh, that's awful. That's awful.
Well, what's funny though is he was playing a 30 card peak performance deck.
Okay.
He almost got me by the old what's it called, Vanguard of Dragons or Dragon Vanguard.
The thing that I think summons a dragon in a graveyard or something like that, or equips itself or something like
that. It's that, but the main effect is that you just keep pitching dragons to it to make it bigger.
Oh, that one. I'm thinking of Paladin Felgrin. I'm sorry. That's what I'm
right.
thinking of. Okay.
You've had losses to that one, I'm sure, where it's like,
yeah.
if I drew some removal, you'd be making a horrible play here, but I just can't punish it right now.
Isn't it just it's both the funnest, but at the same time the most morally crippling feeling when you just lose to an awful card or a card that's just not even relevant at all.
Well, it's not even that it's an awful card. It's like they're playing it horribly. Yeah. Like they're playing it wrong.
Yeah, like I mean, well, I mean that for you, but I've had situations where I'm like, I can't beat this tier 6 deck. Why can I not win with my masked heroes? It's just there are just times where it's both funny, but at the same time demoralizing when you see a really bad card played, and because it's kind of bad and irrelevant, you don't have any outs to it.
It's one of those moments where it's like the guy's clearly making a bad choice, but this is the one time that's ever going to be a good choice.
Yeah, it's both great and again just crippling and
It,
demoralizing.
it's kind of like speeding in the oncoming traffic lane.
Yeah,
It's in generally it's a bad idea, but there's going to be some situations where it is going to be the right play.
yeah. Like if the cops are behind you, I mean, what?
Obviously,
Um, and then the other big card coming out of this event that I know is getting a lot of hype. I think it's really overhyped. Monster Reborn Reborn.
mm. Is it getting hype?
I've been seeing people saying it's getting. I haven't seen the hype person, but I know that from the Guns Blazing video, he said that it's been getting a lot of hype in the Facebook group that we're in. That I don't know if you're ever actually looking at the group.
I mean, I don't look at
But
the group itself, but I see the posts that come from it.
yeah, I've been seeing a few people saying that Monster Reborn is gonna be really good.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's kind of like one of those effects that's playing with fire, but
I don't see it being good. I really don't. I
I
see
mean,
it
if it
being
was good, I wouldn't be
okay.
surprised.
I see it needing a deck built around it. It could maybe work in like a grass deck, in like a monster heavy grass deck, but it's just the fact that you need to have three monsters in your graveyard, and your opponent gets to choose which ones. So ideally, you want to have three of the same monster. It's going to be just, if nothing else, awkward to get it to work the way you want it to work. And the only way I can really think of is to try to use it as a bluff card. Like say for example, you grab one obviously really good card and then two copies of. I'm trying to think of a good example here. Like you grab, you're playing it for hires. You grab a beat and two. I don't even know what else. Two. I don't know. What's the card's name? The strategist.
So I thought of like
Seal.
a better thing I could use it for.
Okay. Yes, I'm
Archfiends.
that would be a good deck where it can be played in. I'll give you that. Archfiends can definitely play it,
Like
which is actually
for
a
right
deck
now,
I completely forgot about.
for right now, I think that's the only place it fit. But that's still a
Yeah.
pretty big
Well,
spot.
Archfiends or decks that are specifically built around it, like grass decks that are very monster heavy. I could see playing it. Maybe decks that are playing merchant, but their decks have to be built around it, and I feel like a deck built around Monster Reborn isn't going to be very good, unless it's like full of like big monsters that are hard to deal with that you can reborn.
Like I said, if it was good, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm not like betting on it or anything.
Yeah, I'm not super hyped for it. I think it could be a decent card, but we'll just have to see in the future. But one deck I completely forgot about is Archfiends. First off, do you know if we're keeping this 5K life point going into next season?
Nope,
No, we're not, or no, you don't know.
I have no idea.
All right, because I feel like Archfiends really benefited from it, and I'm kind of surprised. Granted, I haven't played a lot of PvP, but I played a little bit during the tower to get those medicines. Um, I was surprised I haven't faced any Archfiends that were playing Cards of the Souls. Because
Oh, really?
it's a free search of Emperor.
It might be like a room thing because like there's so many ancient cards already, like Bug Nest, Call of the Archfiends,
Yeah.
Roar of the Archfiends. Yeah.
And one card that I've been seeing teched into the deck, more in Vagabond duels, because again I haven't played a lot of PvP, is Invader of Darkness too, which is just which I mean it shuts down Econ and Super Rush, and where we're in a meta that
And Mayhem for Hire
yes that too I forgot about that, but where we're in a meta that's
and Mass
more
Change
yeah well
and Chalice.
shut up Seth. I, I swear to God. All right.
Oh, and Spell Fate.
Can you chalice your Emperor and keep it on board if you summon it? Like if you normal summon it, can you chalice it to keep it on board at the end phase, or does it still blow up?
I don't think so.
I wasn't sure if you could because I'm not sure how that works with cards that end in the end phase and cards that work until the end of the turn, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So, anyway,
Also, Invader of Darkness also stops Super Rush.
I already said Super Rush. I said
Oh, and Cyclone.
I said Econ and Super Rush. That is true too.
Double Cyclone. Galaxy.
But it doesn't stop Dark World Lightning.
True.
Um, no, I do think that Archfiends on paper seem like a really good deck, especially for this format with a 5k life points. Do
Hmm.
you know why they haven't been the deck to beat? Like, are they just too bricky?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I tried to play the deck, but I mean, we've talked about this before. Somehow I've gone through that box 3 times to get 3 Abyss Soldiers and shit, and I've only got 2 Call the Archfiend. I
Uh,
have.
did you actually maybe buy some of the promotional deals?
I don't think I did, or if I did, it wasn't. I've never bought the ultra rare ones because those are really expensive.
Hmm.
But I mean, I have 3 Emperors, I have 3 Legendary Fishermen 2, I have 3 Abyss Soldier, I have 3 Ties of the Brethren, but I've only got 2 Call the Archfiend. I have 2 Eva Gishki, Levian Mia, and 2 Gishki Chain, and still only 2 Call the Archfiend. Not sure how I did that. I've obviously reset the box early because I've only got 1 Slate Warrior and 1 Salvage.
Hmm.
So it's so weird that somehow I
You
managed to
really
win.
wanted the Migeshkis.
I did, and I do enjoy the deck. The deck is a lot of fun. I'll probably play that in gold because it's a lot of fun. But it's just such not a tier 1 deck. Um, but I do enjoy the Gishkis. They're a lot of fun. I wouldn't recommend you invest in them because they are expensive to build a tier 3 deck.
Well, that and also they don't got a lot of their good consistency cards.
Yeah, I mean their best consistency card is Gishki Chain, which isn't very consistent. But I've actually been surprised with how good that is in Cyber Angels though, because I play so many ritual cards between the ritual spells and the ritual monsters that I almost always nail something, and then I also set up the next 2 cards for my draws. So, but Archfiends though, do you think that they can still work and going into the next format?
I don't know. I haven't really played that much with for hires.
Because I imagine that could be an awkward one for nothing else, just because they can beat over your for hires.
Well, Archfiend Empress is a hard thing to deal with, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and I also imagine Emperor just being
Yeah,
hard
like
to.
I can't pop that one profitably.
How would you deal with Emperor too? Just Super
Emperor,
Rush,
just kill it,
just kill it. What what
basically.
what can beat over it?
I can kill it with Donpha's effect.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So being as you play for hire, have you gotten stuck in the double Dino lock?
No.
I saw this picture on Facebook, and I'm sure if I looked for it, I could find it. It was a for hire mirror match, and both players had 2 Dinas, and one person had a Wiz.
Mm.
So the caption was like, "Yeah, this is called a stalemate," because when you have 2 Dinas, I guess that you can't attack either one of them.
No.
So, are you playing 2 Dina, or how many are you playing?
I'm playing two.
You're playing 2. Yeah.
I've never actually got the lock in.
Yeah. I
To be
imagine the
honest,
lock is hard to get.
I keep forgetting the lock exists, and honestly, I'd just rather win anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, the lock is really is more like a meme thing. Because I think the deck, at least in theory, because I haven't played it on Duel Links. I know that you have, so you can probably confirm this better than I can. But playing in the
Hmm.
TCG, the deck is basically a big OTK deck. You just dump your entire hand on board and just attack for the most part. So
Hmm.
trying to set up a lock like that is playing the deck. I don't want to say wrong, but playing it backwards. Does that make sense?
Mm, I'd say it's like at any point you could even actually get the lock and play, you've probably already won.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that because I mean the deck is just again so aggressive, and the best way to get the lock in place would be either A, to summon a Dyna and then next turn summon another Dyna from your hand, or B, use Mayhem for higher when there's one in your graveyard. By that point, you should have the game pretty much won.
I would like to point out though, it's not, at least in Duel Links, the deck's not as aggressive as you think it is.
Oh really?
Like I could get aggressive kills, but that requires like the opponent like having nothing.
Hmm. I
Like
kind of see that, but just like in theory, it just seems to be the kind of vomit your hand on the board. But again, in Duel Links, there's only 3 zones, so it's a lot
yeah,
harder.
exactly.
But
Like I
then,
can imagine the live game being vomit out your hand win, but
yeah,
you know, when you have to devote probably like usually two of your slots to very weak monsters.
yeah, which and I know that live game you don't really care about, but they just got a Link monster that allows you to draw 3 cards in a turn if you summon or if you destroy a monster or something like that.
Oh, that's fair and good game design.
The only condition to it is you have to have 3 for hires on the field, which I think includes itself. Which I mean, I'm sure you've seen from playing Duel Links how hard it is to get 3 for hires on the board.
Yep.
So it's
Like,
it's
like I
it's a
said,
busted
it's a fair
card.
card.
Yeah, it's a stupidly busted card. Um, and
No, no, it really is fair.
it's stupidly
It,
easy to
it
summon.
requires you to run 3 for hires, dude.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, in a for hire deck with a for hire boss monster, you have to run another for hire, so it's fair. But it's stupidly easy to summon too with other engines. But that's going into other stuff. But yeah,
How many links does it even require?
3.
Oh.
So
So it requires you to summon 3 monsters, summon it, and then two
yeah,
more to activate its effect.
yeah. The only caveat to it is that it has to be three different types of monsters. But
Oh,
there's an engine. I don't go too much into it because again you won't really play the game. But there's a Sky Striker engine. You activate Sky Striker Hornet Drone, which summons I think Psychic token to your board, and then you can link that off into Kagari, which is a machine monster, and get the Hornet Drone back, and then activate the Hornet Drone again to get a second token. So now right there you've already got two different types on your board, which the for hires aren't any of those types. So you just summon one for hire, and then there you go.
hold up! I just thought of a better play.
Okay,
Not play the TCG.
there you go. That's the best play.
I win.
But no, but yeah, the deck in the TCG is even dumber than it is on Duel Links. But Duel Links, I am glad to see for hires on there because I think I told you this, but may not have though. But when the deck was coming out in the TCG, I was keeping up with it, and I saw the card training for hire for all your training needs, and I didn't care what the card did. I fell in love with the archetype because of that. I texted my
Fair.
brother-in-law saying, "Hey, there's a new deck coming out. It's a complete pun of these animal mercenaries called for hire, and their trap card is called for hire for all your training needs." His response to me was, "Please delete my number." It was great. He hates puns, so I told him I'm going to build this deck, and he goes, "Yeah, if you do that, we're never playing again." It was great though. But yeah, I love the deck. It's the deck itself in the TCG isn't that good, but just the concept of a whole pun deck. I wish I didn't spend my gems on spell books. Because God, do I want to build this deck? I'm getting there. I just need one more beat. And
Well, I
then I have the whole
mean,
thing.
you still need the treacherous trap holes.
Yeah, which I still only have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't pulled the second one yet.
I mean, one's probably enough.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, we're kind of getting off the topic and getting. Oh, okay. Um, we're kind of getting off the topic and getting more into just deck building stuff. But
Hmm.
for hires, um, would you are you playing like widespread ruin or anything or?
I'm the only traps I'm running are 2 treacherous.
Okay. And this is completely off topic. This has nothing to do with Duel Links, but apparently Team Hell No has reunited to challenge the Bludgeon Brothers at Extreme Rules.
Why?
I don't know. Apparently they attacked Daniel Bryan last week. I don't know.
Let's no longer talk about this.
Okay. Because that just destroyed everything. Um. Anyway, so is there anything else to add to the meta?
I mean, we could talk about Treacherous Trap Hole itself
Okay,
and
yeah,
how
that's
apparently running two of a card that you can't activate the other one in most situations is actually a good play.
yeah. Treacherous Trap Hole is actually becoming, well, it's really become a staple. The
It's not just a staple; it warped the game around it. Really,
Yeah, and the thing about the card too, well, two things. Number one, the AI doesn't know how to play it.
hmm
I have seen the AI pop my card, my opponent's card, immediately, and like, why would you? Like, I don't understand why the AI would do that, but the AI is stupid. But number two, um, the reason why you play a two, and we've discussed this in private, but this is more, for, I guess, for the audience, is it's better to draw the card early and have the dead draw later on than to never see the card at all.
yeah.
It's such an aggressively good trap card. It's
Well,
worth that risk.
it's not just like drawing it early. It's you want to draw it before they draw theirs.
Yeah,
Like that's how relevant the card's been. It's like you want to add a bad draw just to make sure you can have that card before the opponent does because
yeah,
it's that backbreaking.
yeah. The other card too. Then I guess while we're talking about specific cards, is Canadia. Canadia has
Mm-hmm.
been seeing a lot of play too.
Yeah.
Which I'm very glad about because I have three of them. I actually dug that deep into the box. I want to build Paleo. But Canadia is such a good card because
It's
it's a
nice to
book
know
of
that
hmm?
it's nice to know that Canada is finally relevant.
Yeah. um,
Finally relevant in Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah. But no, with Canadia though, it's just Book of Moon was always called the best -1 in Yu-Gi-Oh, and Canadia is a slightly slower Book of Moon. But in certain matchups, if you're playing both Canadia and Treacherous, because I think that Nelson does this in his Alien, so he was telling me about this. You can Canadia, and then when your opponent activates any trap, get the Canadia out of your graveyard to make your Treacherous live again.
Oh, you mean wait, what? Say that
If
again.
if you Canadia, and then later on your opponent activates any trap, or you activate a continuous like Brainwashing Beam, you
Uh-huh.
can you can get Canadia out of your graveyard, thus making your Treacherous live again.
Oh yeah.
So it's a very it actually works in some decks with Treacherous. So it
Yeah.
can make certain decks really defensive.
It's also gross that it activates on like on your opponent's traps.
Yeah, which is just fantastic though. And I've also been kind of thinking again in theory. I've been playing a lot of PvP. Canada becomes really relevant the more relevant that for hires are, because if you stop their first summon, what follow ups do they have?
Um, I mean, I've been able to fight through it.
Yeah, like if you summon Beat and I immediately flip it face down, so you can't do anything with it. I mean, do you do anything else at that turn, or you just kind of pass turn?
It depends on the board state. Like if you got face up monster, I could sack beat, suit econ, revive it with uh that quick play. That's
Mayhem.
yeah. And then activate beat so you get something on in play.
Yeah, but that right there required you to have at least two specific cards in your hand plus beat or whatever it is.
hmm
So it can be played through like you said, but it makes it a lot harder to play through it, and that's kind of always been the problem with for hire both in the TCG as well as in theory and Duel Links. They're very reliant on their normal summon because if you stop their first monster, they don't really have a lot of ways of playing more cards aside from mayheming back their
Oh no,
monster.
that's definitely the right play is to slow them down like that. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's not like you're dead.
yeah. It's the right play. It's a play that can be played through, but it's still a way to really hurt against them. And I'm thinking when I build my build, I'm probably going to be playing econs to econ take their for a mirror match. I'll probably be playing Canadias to deal with their monsters for a mirror match. Um, which when you say that the
Well
deck
you're
is
going to be if you're building for hires, you're going to be econ and take anyway because you can
yeah.
do cheeky stuff like econ take chain mayhem to summon your monster. And
Oh,
now that you're,
I didn't even think of that. That's gross.
I've done that a lot. it is pretty gross
Oh,
because
I'm just
because then they just lose their monster, and then you're also activating all your other for hires.
I'm just imagining, you have a beat on your board. They summon a beat, or you have anything. It doesn't really matter. And they summon a beat, so you kind of take their beat, then mayhem back your monster, and you search with their beat.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Oh no, I don't think you were picking up where I was going with that.
No,
I'm saying when you have three monsters in play,
yeah.
you tribute one of them for econ and take. You chain mayhem to the econ, so you have three monsters in play again.
Oh, and then there goes to the graveyard, right, or something like
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's
Mhm.
even worse. Oh God, who hurt you? I asked you this when you sent.
So
I asked
I
you this
was
when you sent me that deck list. That was like the
I was
stalliest
sick,
shit I've ever
and
seen.
there was this old man that lived near me, and
Do you mind for the people who have made it over well, including the intro, probably about an hour and 25 minutes in? Do you mind if I
uh,
include a screenshot of that deck list that you sent me that
go
when I
for
first
it,
asked you who hurt you?
go for it.
Because that was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Oh God, that was gross.
I had to once I saw this, just
Oh my God, I don't even want to read it off. But for anybody that made it this far, assuming that I get the or that I can figure out how to use Adobe Premiere, I think it is.
Also, don't even mention anything about the deck right now in the audio. Just you know, let the picture speak for itself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention anything about it. But for anybody who's watching, who's made it to this point, just look at the screen. The deck on the screen right now. When this motherfucker sent me that deck, I just want to know who would hurt him, because my God, why, why?
Because I could.
That's a good
Just
reason
I
to
haven't
live.
actually used it. I'm just I just built it just to show you it was possible.
That's awful. That's so disgusting. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I've seen some disgusting shit, like playing card shuffle to Cards of the Soul at Toon Dark Magician Girl. Oh God, the shit that you come up with.
Well, I
Oh,
didn't come up with the card shuffle one.
oh, you didn't? I thought you did.
No, that was on Reddit.
Oh, okay. Oh God, though. Are there any other cards though that we should discuss, or?
I don't think so.
I was thinking of maybe adding another video, like probably twice a month, of like just a tech card of choice, but there really isn't anything right now that I can think of that would be a tech card.
No, I think after the meta solidifies, there'll be things to say about that.
Yeah, I mean the closest thing to a tech card right now would probably be just the ones that we've been using, like
Well,
Chalice and stuff like
like the
that.
new ban list went live today.
Yeah, so this is more speculative than actually, analyzing what's going on, the last week. By the time that this video goes live, which yeah we should, have said it earlier on. This is very speculative because the ban list went live the day of this recording.
Mm.
Which I already saw somebody again in that Facebook group saying how they're upset that this new event's a PvP event because they're tired of the meta. To which I responded, "You're tired of a meta that's literally hours old."
I mean, to be fair, like I've been testing this meta for the past week.
Yeah, so have I. Which is why I can say that Mass Heroes got the biggest slap on the wrist. I think that they only hit the Mass Heroes was to take out Econs.
Mm.
I don't think
And
that
really,
they
and
care the
really, you were
Celestial.
just like its biggest hit was just make it the more aggressive build that was big in the KC Cup.
Yeah,
The KC Cup's a qualifier.
yeah, because it makes it a very kill or be killed kind of deck. It becomes, if you open Mass Change, you probably win. If you don't open Mass Change, you probably lose kind of deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't wait to have it finish up. I have Aster at 39. I'm so close to D-Draw. I can't wait. Yeah, so I guess if we don't have anything else, we should probably call it a night, right?
Yeah, probably.
Um, yeah, I can't think of anything else. So all right, that was the state of the meta, mostly speculation. Hopefully next month we'll be back with a less structured video for next month, because we hopefully we won't have a ban list, skill rebalances, 2 boxes, a structure deck, and a new character to go over. So next month we can be a lot more freeform again. But just because we had so much, I had a structure to this to kind of make sure we hit everything. But next month should be a lot more freeform again. So Seth, thank you again for being here like you are every month.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, again, I thank you so much, because again, we need somebody who's good here, and that's your job.
We could find Nil.
I said someone who's good.
Oh, my bad.
So, but yeah, so the next world champion, Seth, thank you again for being here. Just go murder a couple people and you're good.
You know, it'll just be an average weekend for me.
Yeah, so we're all good then. All right, guys, we'll see you in August. Yeah, we'll see you in August.
Bye.